Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations of a psychological, mental health, emotional health paradigm. We do that as often as we can, usually several times per week. We try to be here for your listening pleasure and ultimately, hopefully, give you a little bit of guidance on making life just a tad easier for your own benefit. In any event, this is the first in a three-part series about things that narcissists won't do or they will do. So just a series about narcissism. We've done this before on the channel, but working with a few clients who asked me to revisit the concept of all of this. If you're dealing with that, please feel free to reach out for coaching. I've worked in both one-on-one and group situations around this issue, so would love to be of help to you if I can. You can reach out through Twitter at PO Perception. You can reach out in the About Me section of this YouTube page. Either way, get you somewhere where things can go in a good way. So the first thing that a narcissist won't do is admit that they have done anything wrong. Admit to any level of weakness. Again, you must understand that the person with a narcissistic tendency is looking for power. That's what drives them. That's what their focus point is. So the level of power that a person has is drastically reduced if they admit any level of wrongdoing. Thus, admission of any sort of wrongdoing, admission that they could have handled things better, admission that they have things to grow within is something they're not most likely willing to do or going to do. It doesn't necessarily mean that they never would, but again, even if they do engage in that sort of behavior, it's because there's an emotional leverage point that comes with that. So be extremely careful when a narcissistic individual shows any level of social responsibility, because ultimately that's not where they are, and so or not where they are most often. The next thing to look at is understand that they will never admit 100% wrongdoing. So this means that gaslighting and or twisting language becomes a major part of how they get through these relational experiences. They'll almost say, well, if you hadn't done this, then I wouldn't have done that, and it might have been a bad idea for me to do that, but you're the one that caused it. So taking a certain level of personal responsibility only in such the point that the individual is taking minor advancement of any level of responsibility, if they do, is there. But the other side of that is ultimately it's going to be a very limited process. It's going to be a very limited approach to how and where things come forward. So the next thing to look at is kind of the nature of how things are handled. They will lie, they will manipulate, but they will always have rationalization. You know, they will have rationalization in how things are going. You know, and so the lies they tell will be white lies at first. A lot of it is hunt and peck to see what you will buy or believe, and then you know, piling lie on top of lie on top of lie, and that's an interesting run there, because ultimately you start to wonder what's truthful, what's a lie, and that scrambling of thought, that scrambling of mindset and brain is what they're looking you know, for going forward in the future, and that it can actually be the leverage point that such a person is looking for in order to maintain control in the relationship. Understand too that these individuals are not willing to look at forgiveness or peace. So the emotional upset that has been created through their deception will often feel like a leverage game for them. And so kind of re-scrambling anytime you think things have gone well, the reaffirmation that they have control through creating emotional chaos is something that they will do. This means that there isn't really long-term periods of peace in the house, but constant, you know, backtracking on language and twisting can make you think like you're making progress when in reality all you're doing is running on some level of, you know, treadmill emotionally. Anyway, until next time, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment.